Hi everybody, my name is Nick Schenkeveld and welcome to the First Aid on a Danger YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about tourniquets and what kind of tourniquets. I already told you guys and girls of course a few months ago that I wanted to talk about a little bit more about real tourniquet versus fake ones. We're still working on the right test setting, but there are already a few things that I want to talk about today, and that is, for example, the tourniquet rod that's on the fake tourniquets and compare them with a real tourniquet, so the generation 6 and a generation 7 combat application tourniquet. So that is what I want to talk about today. Run intro. So the first thing that we need to know is that all the evidence-based research that has been done about tourniquets for now all consider generation 6 tourniquet. So if we want to make a fair comparison at this moment about the fake tourniquet versus the real one, we need to take a look at that, because the tourniquet rod at the generation 6 tourniquet is major different than those in the generation 7 version. So I know that I have a generation 7 version in here. I'm just going to jump in and try to get it out. No, I know, of course I know where it is. This is still one that is in the package. So what I'm going to do, I know that on that table I have an orange one which is no longer in the package, and I'm going to grab that one. Or maybe my assistant can grab it for me. Assistant! Thank you, assistant. So as we can see, this is a generation 7 tourniquet. And one of the biggest changes that they made is the tourniquet rod. You see, if I grab, this is an old generation 6 combat application tourniquet. A real one, not a fake one. No fake news here, only real news. This is the generation 7 tourniquet, and this is the generation 6 tourniquet. As you can see, that maybe I'll do a little close-up for you guys. I'm going to ask my assistant, can they see this? Is it sharp? Yes. You can see that this is generation 7, which is much, and I'm place my hand underneath here. It's much bigger and wider than is the generation 6 tourniquet. If we take a look at, for example, a fake one, and we compare those two, so we can see now that both the generation 6 and the fake tourniquets have, by comparisons, the same diameter as the generation 6 have. So what can we see? Because I see a lot of YouTube videos and I see a lot of Instagram footage coming by talking about how easily the tourniquet rods of the fake tourniquets break. Well, there is a really good research that shows that the generation 6 tourniquet has exactly the same problem as the fake tourniquets. Yeah? And I want to show you guys what I mean. And I'll come closer a little bit. For this is a tourniquet. It hasn't been used very much, but this was the only tourniquet that I could find left that is a real tourniquet, and it's also a generation 6 tourniquet. But I want to show you guys is if as soon as I start putting some pressure on it, can you see what happens? It bends over, and doesn't take a lot of force for me to bend it over. And this is a real tourniquet. This is a real combat application tourniquet. But as you can see, if you put a lot of pressure on it, you're gonna snap it. You see that it's already keeping a little bit bended. So if I do the same thing with, for example, this one, and this is the fake one, we see the same thing happening. It bends. Yeah. So just saying that the fake ones tend to break is not correct, because the research shows that especially the generation 6 tourniquet had the same problem. And when does this problem start? When you turn it around too much. So if I see the YouTube videos or the Instagram footage coming by, I also tend to wonder how many times did they turn the tourniquet rod, because that is a main problem for tourniquet snapping, not being real or fake, because then we cannot say that out loud, because there's still no good research being done about fakes faces the real ones. And that is very difficult now, because we can see that both the fake and the real tourniquet generation 6 versions have the problem that they will break, and the research shows it. So that is the main reason why the generation 7 has a much bigger and stronger tourniquet rod than the generation 6 had. But also this one, I can show it to you guys. It will not be as easy, but it's still possible. You can still if you put a lot of pressure on it, you see that it's gonna bend over. So if you place too much stress on a tourniquet with a plastic tourniquet rod, it will always bend and eventually it will break. So it might not break immediately, but it might in a while. So that is something that you need to take into notice when talking about fake tourniquets versus real ones. That the Generation 6 had its flaws also. That is why the Generation 7 is here. But the Generation 7 might still have those same problems of bending and breaking. It all depends on how you use your tourniquet. And once again, I'm not saying that everybody should go buy an AliExpress tourniquet, because that is the last thing that I want people to do, because I do believe that we need to make sure that we have the proper medical equipment within our bag. So that means use a real tourniquet, and you can see it mostly because the logo of CAT is on it, and there's a lot number on it, or a registration number. Those registration numbers are very important. So if something is wrong with a tourniquet, your supplier can always try to contact you, and that's the main issue with fake tourniquets. The fake tourniquets that have no registration number on there, so if something is going wrong within production, we'll never ever know. So that is something that I just want to point out for you guys now at the moment. I already told you that we are still working at the right test setup for you guys, so that we can really make a good comparisons about the fake ones facing the real ones. That is what I wanted to show you guys today about the fake versus the real tourniquet. If you want to buy real tourniquets, you could check our website. Link is in the description below. On our website you will only find real tourniquets, no fake ones and no fake news here on the YouTube channel from First Aid Under Danger. For now, I want to thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see you again soon. For now, thank you very much, stay safe, and bye bye.